morning. And as we indicated, the topic is the challenges of the Christian experience. And what we'd like for you to do is to talk about some of the opportunities and some of the challenges that you find within the Christian experience, using, for the most part, some of the ideas that you have in a recent published book called The Persecution for Righteousness' Sake, and to use that as the basis of some of the challenges that you have found in the Bible in reference to the Christian experience and how people might be able to overcome some of the challenges that they have. But before we do that, Pastor Hayes, let's see if we can have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and your experiences. Then we'll have an opportunity during the second segment to get into what we call some of the challenges of the Christian experience.
Thank you. Well, Dr. Haney, I've been in ministry for basically all of my life. I started preaching at the age of 9 years old. I have attended Tennessee State University, Vanderbilt University, Gammon Theological Seminary, where I received my Master's of Divinity. I've also had an opportunity to just work with many people growing in ministry. I've been pastoring in the United Methodist Church for over 37 years, several churches. All of those churches have been growing and live churches, a lot of different situations. So it has certainly been interesting and an opportunity to do a lot of different things. Also, you find in the ministry opportunity to deal with a lot of different people. Through church growth, I have won one of the highest awards in the United Methodist Church called the Denman Award. This is an evangelism award. So I also had that opportunity to win that award. Several years ago, we took a church from very few members to over 400 members in like a 3-year period. So that was also an exciting time of ministry. Just continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to work with people has been one of the things that I've enjoyed doing. And so certainly I'm thankful for that. I've also participated in many workshops, have led many workshops in the United Methodist Church and outside of the United Methodist Church. And so that have given me strength and courage to do the will of God for the ministry and trying to reach people and save them and bring them to church, and also to lead them to a life of being a Christian for the Lord. And
so you've been involved in ministerial work one way or the other, practically, as a matter of fact, I think you said practically all of your life, in a real sense, after having started preaching at the age of 9.
Right.
Certainly you've been involved literally all of your life dealing with the Word of God,
right,
one way or the other. And as I indicated earlier, there are some of the challenges that I'm sure that during the many years that you've been involved with this ministry, there are some of the challenges that you've been able to pull out in terms of being able to deliver to our audience this morning, some of the challenges and how the Christian experience has been able to help people overcome some of those challenges.
Correct.
What would you say, looking at your ministry, one of the things that you've had to deal with more than any other real item, and what we're suggesting here, because we've got a minute in this segment, to simply think in terms of a single item that you think that, that you've had to deal with in your ministry, doing all of your churches and et cetera, that you could start us off with when we come back, dealing with as a challenge.
Okay.
Just think about that, and perhaps you want to make some statements in reference to what that challenge might be.
One of the things, you know, we're going to talk about just loving people. You got to be a good Christian and a true Christian is crossing lines where you just love everybody. You treat everybody like they're somebody, even those that others may count out. You have to treat them as a child of God. And you have to show yourself as a Christian and give yourself Christian love.
Very good. And so one of the great challenges that you'll talk about after our first commercial break will be what? The ability to be able to love one another. Is that it? And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Pastor Daniel Hayes of John Wesley United Methodist Church, and he's given us some information in reference to some of the challenges of the Christian experience. And he's using, for the most part, some of the information that he has developed in a recently published book called Persecution for Righteousness' Sake. Pastor, let's look at some of the items that you, as we indicated during the end of the first segment, some of the things that I think you indicated love. Right. It was a major item in reference to that, everything that fits all across your ministry. Speak to that.
Right. One of the things that we have to understand is that being a true Christian for the Lord, our responsibility is to go forth and make disciples of Jesus Christ. And it's hard to do that if you don't have love within your heart and teach people how to love one another. One of the things that's happening across the church today is that we see that there is a large number of nuns. Now, nuns are not the nuns that that are so gratefully serve in the church. I'm talking about nuns that don't attend